This right here brings us to the absolute light bulb moment of this research. Because the whole system works by finding the closest match. It doesn't need to be perfect. The brain's tolerance for being a little fuzzy, for making errors, that's a feature, not a bug. And it's a feature you can actually hack to get incredible efficiency.
And this isn't just some small side benefit. It's the central property that the researchers realized they could totally exploit. They put it perfectly in the paper, saying, HD computing is amazingly tolerant to error. And just look at this graph from the paper. It shows you exactly how tolerant it is. It's tracking the accuracy of the language recognition as they deliberately introduce errors. Get this, you can flip 3,000 of the 10,000 bits. That's a 30% error rate. And the system's accuracy is still hanging out above 90%. A normal computer would have just completely fallen apart way before that. It's wild.
This incredible toughness sparked a truly brilliant idea. The researchers thought, hey, if this system can handle this much error without even breaking a sweat, what if we intentionally designed hardware that wasn't perfect? What if we could trade just a tiny sliver of that amazing accuracy for a massive win in energy efficiency?
And that is exactly what they did. They started exploring techniques like voltage overscaling. It's basically like running your computer chips on less power than they're supposed to get, kind of like putting them in a permanent low power mode. Now, this makes them more likely to make little mistakes, but as we just saw, the HD computing system just doesn't care about little mistakes. And the result, as this graph shows so clearly, is a direct trade-off. The more errors you're willing to accept, the more energy you save.
So let's break that down. One method they tried was just ignoring parts of the hypervector. Just sampling it. That alone saved about 25% on energy while keeping the accuracy pretty high. But the real game changer was that voltage overscaling. By running the hardware on lower power and just letting the errors happen, they saved over 50% in energy. Think about that. They made the hardware worse to make the entire system drastically better.
So, okay, zooming out, what does all this mean for the future? Why does hacking the way the brain remembers matter so much for the next generation of AI?
Well, this research basically unlocks a whole new road forward. It points the way to building incredibly energy-efficient AI systems, which, let's be honest, is one of the biggest problems in the field today. It lets us bypass the old, brittle way of doing things and gives us better tools for all those fuzzy tasks that our brains are so good at, like recognizing images, making analogies, or pulling together data from a bunch of different sensors. The paper even suggests this approach could lead to a nearly 20-fold improvement in the energy delay product. That's a key metric for computer performance. That's not just a small step, it's a monumental leap.
And this all leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought to chew on. For years now, the story of AI has been all about bigger models and more data. Just throw more data at it. But maybe that's about to change. Maybe the next great leap in AI won't come from the software at all, but from the hardware itself. Maybe it's not about feeding the beast more data, but about finally learning how to build a better, more efficient, and fundamentally different kind of brain.